Okay folks, welcome back once more to The Long Dark. We are back after our slightly disastrous little episode where we almost got ourselves lost in the wilderness. We are back in the homestead and we have pretty much sorted ourselves out. We've recovered quite well. We're actually almost ready to go, in all honesty, but it is coming up to darkness and I am hungry. So I'm just going to eat. I can't really remember. It's been a little while since I played, so I can't really remember where I am, what I'm doing, and what foodstuffs and things I've got. So I know I've got plenty of water, so we'll have a litre of that. And I don't think I've got very much food. No, I've got a bit, but not a massive amount. Okay, so hunting is on our agenda. I'm going to use the bedroll to sleep through the night, partly because I just can't be bothered to walk up the stairs. It's a lot faster, so I'm just going to go for 6 hours and see how long it lets us sleep for. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to go for 5 hours, so I don't go over my calories. I don't use more calories sleeping than I currently have on board, because that will cause my condition to start to drop. Okay, I woke up fully rested, so presumably I didn't do the full 5 hours. 7 hours remaining. I just need to eat and drink. Now, food is a little bit in short supply. So we definitely need to try and do some hunting in this one. I'm still determined to try and get to... let's pass time for 4 and then sleep for 3. That should do the trick. I am going to lose a bit of condition because I haven't got much food. There's not very much I can do about that. Okie dokie. I'm going to have to reserve my food supplies a little bit here, I think. So if we just sleep through for 4 hours, our condition is going to drop. There's nothing we can do about that. We just need to ration our food slightly. Oh, we woke up fully rested. This is the balancing act with this. Okay, let's pass time for 2. I just want to get a little bit into the day. There we go. Right, that should do the trick. Okay, so let's just drink. No, shut up. Oh, you did. Right, so I'm just going to grab a little bit more water. I'll have another litre. Let's just check what equipment I've got on board as we go out on our hunting mission. So I have a little bit of firewood. That should do it. A little bit of first aid supplies. Obviously, I've got my clothes. I am carrying a pair of boots that I probably don't need to be carrying. So let me just drop those. I've got a pair of socks there I don't need to be carrying either. Let me drop those as well. I'll sort that out properly later. We don't need to be carrying 2 sewing kits around, so let's get rid of those. And we probably don't need to be carrying 2 torches either, so let's get rid of one of those. I'll hang on to those, they're not really heavy. Basically, I'm just trying to free up as much weight as I can in my inventory, so if I do bring a deer down, I've got the space to carry everything back. So that little lot can just stay in that pile. We'll sort it all out later. I can hear the wind whistling round, both in the game and in real life. It's a little bit windy today, looking out the window. It's a bit blustery out there. Ah, okay. Not looking... oh, it looks a little... I was about to say it's not looking too bad. It actually is looking not great. But we are going to need to go out on our epic mission, unfortunately, because we are very short of food. Minus 25 degrees. It's not very pleasant. I'm actually just trying to think if we've got an easy win. Can we get inside this silo? I've been waiting to see if they make that an accessible area at some point. I'm waiting to see whether that happens. I was kind of hoping there might be a deer carcass in here, but there isn't. They're not things we can pick up. I didn't want to venture too far from the homestead if I could avoid it. But there doesn't seem to be any deer about. And it is very cold. Well, if I... Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They've got more sense than me. Right. Okay. Well, this is a little bit of a problem. temperatures are fairly low. We're getting cold very quickly. I do need to find some food of some description though, so... Yeah, I know it's cold. I know it's cold. I'm certainly not venturing out like I did last time, because that was a very, very near disaster. That was a near miss, that was. We were very lucky to get back. I tell you, we were really, really lucky to make it back. Last time out, video number 7, we were so lucky. I'm going to try not to do that again. I'm going to try and be a bit better prepared. What's that? Is that a wolf? Is that just a sticky uppy thing? It's not moving, so I'm going to assume it's a sticky uppy thing. Oh no, it is a wolf. It is a wolf. There's a couple of wolves over there. I don't feel like taking a wolf on, so let's have a quick look over here. I might make for the red barn. Actually, that might make a good hunting point. We might be able to go to the red barn and kind of base ourselves there for a little bit and see if we can do some hunting from there of this open field. I need to get myself warmed up a little bit again. Can't remember if I think I left a load of stuff behind that we could break down into firewood if we need to, so. There's a deer. There's a deer, there's a deer. Okay. We're already pretty cold. If I can take a deer down pretty quickly, we might be alright, but from this distance I don't fancy my chances. Oh, it's really windy. No. To be honest, I was kind of expecting that. That was a bit of a waste of a rifle round because we were perhaps a little bit too far away. Okay. Yeah, it's really cold. So what we need to do, I think, is get to an indoor location. I have my traditional really itchy nose that I always get whenever I start playing now. A little pack of wolves over there. There's 3 of them. So that actually wouldn't have been a good thing to bring that deer down anyway. Oh, we have another load over here, but I think again because we're so cold, we just need to get ourselves to an indoor location now. Unfortunately, we are running into the headwinds, so I'm starting to think if I might be better off doubling back. Yeah, let's double back. We'll head back for the farmstead rather than for the barn, and we'll come back over here once we've warmed back up again and the wind's dropped. Let's make our way back, just using whatever sprint I can, which is not very much. Just to get ourselves back and out of this cold as quickly as we can. Let's have a quick look. Oh, we're 9% at risk of hypothermia, so we should be alright. We should be able to get back. We should be able to get back. I hope. Personally think we made probably the best decision there. Oh, it's getting even worse. Although, interestingly, the temperature is now -11, not -24. So, and that's probably because we just dropped down a bit and we're a little bit more sheltered. But there's a bit of snow mixed in with the wind now. It's got a bit blizzardy. So we head back up. I think we actually need to be slightly this way. There we go. Right. Yeah, things... Visibility has dropped a lot, so the weather's not very good. So let's get ourselves back inside. Try and warm ourselves up a bit. As we're on this side of the building, let's just drop into the cellar. I've got a few crafty things with me, so we'll drop into the cellar and just see if there's anything we can do down here. We should be nice and warm in the cellar. Yeah, we're all good. So let's make our way around here. I'm carrying materials and things with me, so I can't remember where I've stored a lot of these materials. Did I put them in here? I did. Right, okay, so if we just drop over here, I'm carrying Old Man's Beard. I now have enough Old Man's Beard to make a dressing, so I will have all 3 of those back. And we'll do that in a moment. Everything else we're actually looking okay. Nothing else to drop down here by the looks of things. Let me craft myself... Whoops, wrong thing. Let me craft myself Old Man's Beard wound dressing. There we go. So that's 2 Old Man Beard wound dressings that we're now carrying. Always very helpful. Probably means I don't need to be carrying that. Helps prevent infection. We can get rid of that because it does the same thing. I believe it's... Is it one of these? No, is it antibiotics that we don't need to carry? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've used them, to be honest. I honestly can't remember. I think it's antibiotics I don't need to be carrying, so we can probably drop those, save us a little bit of carrying weight. Okay, so let's head back up outside, back into the main building. It's usually where I come face to face with something nasty. Just outside the door. It's just what we don't want. There we go. And it's still not looking great out here. Let's get back inside. Temperature immediately jumps up above freezing, so we can kind of hang around here for a minute. Okay, well let's... I'm going to pass time. I'm going to do it here. I'm going to pass time for 3 hours. And see what the weather's doing. Still not looking good. Oh, no, it's even worse, look. It's even worse. Okay, I don't think we're going anywhere at the minute. It's going to be another one of these videos where I struggle to think of things to do to keep us occupied while the weather outside is pretty horrible. Well, we can sort of do a little bit of housekeeping-y type stuff, can't we? We can pick this stuff up off the floor. We've got torch. Now that's tools, technically. Just go there. These are clothes, technically, which I have been storing upstairs, so I'll take those up. I actually have a couple of rifle cartridges, so I'll take an extra rifle cartridge. In fact, we might as well fully load our rifle. We can holster it as well, we don't need to be carrying it around with us. Right, okay, let's head up here and get rid of these clothes. To this here cabinet. So clothes we're not wearing, they can go across, and they can go across because we're wearing these. And I don't think there's much in the way of housekeeping stuff I can do either. We're pretty much sorted. The issue I've got is food, and I can't do much about that if the weather's like this. So, yeah, we are a little bit... I'll tell you what we can do though. Although we are hungry, so I will have to eat some food before I can do it. We could do some research. Let's take those two. And one of those. And let's take some of that on board. Not all of it, but some of it. We'll drink that soda. Hopefully that will give us enough for me to be able to do this. But we can do some research, and this seems an appropriate one to do because we're trying to hunt. It improves our... oh, I've already done it. It improves rifle firearm skill by 5 points. I've actually already done that one, so we'll put that one down. Pick this one up. I've still got 3 hours to reverse on this one. The Wilderness Kitchen, the only guide you'll ever need to cooking on a campfire. So it improves our cooking skill by 10 points. So let's research it. And we'll try and research it for 3 full hours. We didn't quite finish it. We're too hungry, but we've got 4 hours of it done now, so we've only got 1 more hour of this left to research. So if we just eat something or drink something, should let us do both. Well, I've still got it in my inventory. Let's just research it for that final hour. And there we go, so that's that book fully researched, so we can drop it. And we can now pick it up back on here. Now, I'm pretty sure now that we've fully researched it, we can actually use these 2 books as firewood, I think. I'm not sure, and I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to keep them as a kind of a memento, as they are kind of individual specific books. Although I think we'll probably find the same books again in other places. Okay, weather's really not very good out there. It's not going to improve. We have got question mark, question mark, question mark as I left, but it's starting to go dark. So I assume we're heading into the evening. And I'm going to go and use the bed. I don't want to waste the condition of a bedroll too much. So let's go and use the bed. In fact, I think the condition might go down just by it being laid out, so I probably need to pick that up. So... okay, food-wise, I'm going to eat one of these. I'm going to drink some water. And I'm going to put down 6 hours of sleep. Let's see if we can sleep our way into the night. There we go, yes, we're now in darkness. Things seem to be calming down, I've got my numbers back. Still very blustery out there, though. Obviously, we're now hungry again, but I'm not going to take any food on board. I will drink a little bit, though. Things seem to have calmed down a bit. I reckon we could probably do... let's see if we can sleep for 2 hours. But then we're going to have to pass time for a bit. Okay, we've got 5 hours of darkness remaining. So I'm going to pass time for 4 hours. And then we'll try and sleep for another couple or another few hours just to get us a little bit further into the day so it's not as cold. It's always very cold first thing in the morning in the long dark, so which is kind of what you'd expect. When the sun's been out for a bit during the day, it warms up. It warms up. So hopefully, you know, if we just kind of sleep for a few hours, go a few hours into the day, we will hopefully have slightly warmer conditions for us to go out and have a go at hunting. And I think we'll head straight back across in the direction of the Red Barn. Yeah, we are. We've woke up fully rested. 12 hours of daylight remaining. We need to drink, which we shall do. Obviously our condition has dropped quite a bit, but we are short of food, so I need to ration that slightly. So I'm going to have to accept that condition hit. There isn't very much we can do about that until we can get some more food, so we need to try and do that, because that's literally all we have. So let's take some more water. Just gonna take a litre, and let's just have a look how cold it is outside, because I might be able to do this without having to do my normal drink the coffee to keep ourselves warm trick. In fact, I think we probably will be all right. It's still not. The weather is still not nice, but we're gonna have to chance it because we're in dire need of food. Okay, so. Bring forth our rifle, if I can find the right button. There we are. Okay, now see, we were finding some walls. Again, I'm walking into a headwind, which slows me down enormously. My other concern is it won't let me light the fire that I try to light next to the carcass because of the wind. That's my other concern. Temperature wise it is still cold, it's minus 24, but we seriously need to give this a try. This is quite amusing. The headwind is still affecting us even though we're standing behind a big rock. It really shouldn't be affecting us. I can actually hear deer running around. Well, I am coming up to where that little wolf pack was, so I'm slightly worried that we might be a little bit close to a group of wolves, because I've kind of come round a slightly different way this time. I can hear deer running about, but I can't see them. Let's just crest this. Okay, well I haven't walked into a wolf den, which is good. But I haven't exactly walked into a field of deer either. There's a wolf, a couple of wolves over there. There's a deer running about near me. I can hear it.
Starting to feel numb.
But I can't see it. Okay, well there is one ahead of me. Well, there was. There it is. So I'm going to see if we can stalk this one. It's not exactly the best. I'm actually wondering if it's not a deer I can hear running, if it's actually me. This is not the best approach at all. I'm not particularly good at this. I will hold my hands up to that. Okay, we're now at risk of hypothermia. Well, there's one running away, but the one I've got in my sights has not run away. We got it. We got it. Okay. Let's get ourselves over here. Okay, the wind seems to have died down, so I'm really hoping it's going to let me light a fire. If not, we are in real trouble. Good, it's going to let me light a fire. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to light it with the cedar firewood. So let's get this fire lit. This is how I always do this when I'm harvesting a carcass. I always light a fire next to it. Two reasons. One, it stops me from freezing. It stops the carcass from freezing, which makes it easier and quicker to harvest. And it also stops predators from coming up, or at least it gives me something I can hide behind to try and ward off predators, like the wolves and what have you. So I can hear a lot of noise coming from the left. Obviously, I can't move around and look up at the moment, but honestly don't know what all this noise is that I can hear. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Right, let's chuck a few sticks on there, and let's duck down, and hopefully we are not freezing. I really hope not. Feels like -4, so that's not actually good at all. Can I chuck a bit more? I've only got... Let's give it a bit more heat output. Don't stand in the fire though. We've made that mistake once already. Feels like -1. Oh, I really hoped I could get that. I'm going to have to chuck that on there. There we are. I don't want to freeze, that's the thing. Okay, so we want to harvest that. We want to harvest as much of this meat as we can, but we want to keep it within the duration of the fire. So we'll go for 7 kilos. Oh, there we are. Things have warmed up a bit, so we're okay now. Okay, so we'll take the hide. Oh, that's going to take 47 minutes. Seriously, to harvest the hide? Oh, it's including the rest of the meat as well. I didn't realise that. That's a bit more like it. Let's get this hide harvest. Excellent. And can we take the gut? That's going to take me 20 minutes. I'm sure we can do that. My fire's probably going to go out in a second, but we're okay at the moment. I'm actually amazed my fire hasn't gone out yet. Can we get 2 more kilos of meat? In fact, can we get... Oh, we might as well just go for the full... My fire still hasn't gone out. That's really bizarre. Did it give it that much extra duration? Okay, well the weather's certainly gone a bit downhill. Okay, let's jump up. Lots and lots of things jumping around. I can hear loads of noises that sound like things running around and what have you coming through the headphones, so... Feels a bit weird. Some of it, I think, is actually me. Let's holster that. Again, in the long dark, for anyone not familiar with it, it's not a first-person shooter. The guns are not there really to shoot at things or defense. They're there for hunting, like we've just done there. Hunting and survival. So if we're attacked by a wolf, you really have to be quick draw to be able to shoot it to defend yourself. There's a good chance that you won't be able to do it because they actively try and avoid being shot. Makes it quite complicated. Okay, so we're heading back this way, which will take us back towards the farmstead. Just over the river. Weather is still not great, although the temperature is slightly better. -6. So we are freezing and we are at slight hypothermia risk, I suspect, are we? Oh, well, we are now. We weren't, but we are now. Yeah, because it's just dropped down to feeling like -15, so it's gotten a lot colder. But we're pretty good. We've got quite a lot of sticks here. I'm going to pick up the ones that I'm walking over. But I'm not going to go out of my way to pick them up. I don't want to go too far, waste too much time, but only that we're passing by. When you have a storm, high winds and what have you, you get loads of new sticks on the ground, which obviously is pretty realistic. Okay, so we're all clear as we approach. Can't see the bear or any wolves around. Haven't actually seen the bear yet. He does occasionally wander around this area right outside the farmstead, but so far, no bear. Condition is not brilliant, but not too bad either. We're doing okay. I can hear wolves, but that's not a problem. We are literally by the door. So we can safely get inside the farmstead. And there we are. So we've got ourselves some food. So now we can get ourselves organised. Now the first thing we need to do, before I cook any of the food, because that's going to take a bit longer than I've got in this video. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying out the hide and everything else to dry out. And I'm going to put it in here, because it's a little bit out of the way, so I'm not going to fall over it or anything like that. You can see we've got plenty of meat there. It degrades very, very quickly, as you can see, so we're going to cook that fairly quickly. But first of all, let's drop the hide. Now, hides and gut are used for crafting. You use them for crafting clothing and various other things at crafting workbenches. However, before we can use them, we've got to dry them. You have to air dry them indoors in an indoor location for a varying amount of time depending on what they are. So gut tends to do, I think it's 3 in-game days. Hide from deer is about the same, I think. Rabbit pelts are a bit quicker. Wolf pelts take a bit longer to dry and become cured. And when they're cured, you can use them. So when they're 100% cured, they're then usable for crafting. So that's what we've got to do. So we just need to lay these out here and forget about them for a few days. And then they'll be ready to use. Although we need about 4 of them before we can actually try doing anything. So it's a start. We'll gather them up. We'll try and make the deerskin clothing as we always do, as it's nice and warm and it'll be good for us to explore with. But right now, I'm not going to take deer down willy-nilly. I'm only going to take them down as and when my food stocks dictate it, because otherwise it's a waste. The food won't keep. Okay, so we have done a pretty good day here. We've managed to do some hunting. We brought down our first deer. We've managed to collect, obviously, a fair bit of deer meat, which is going to solve our food issue. Get ourselves nice and stocked up and resourced. We've also got our first hide, which we can set out to cure, ready for some crafting later. And we're looking in pretty good condition right now. So I'm hoping in the next time round we can have another crack at that cave. This time carrying a little bit more hindsight. Trying to avoid bad weather, thinking a little bit more about how we're going to do it, so that we don't get lost. If I'm not quite sure how I'm going to not get lost this time, but I'm going to be a bit more careful. I'm going to try and set out very, very early in the morning, and then we'll have the whole day to get there. And I'm going to try and make sure I'm carrying enough firewood for at least 1 night's worth of fire, so we don't end up having to move halfway through the night this time. But I am going to say thank you very much for watching another run through the Lawn Dart, video number 8 in our playthrough series, and I shall see you again very, very soon for video number 9. Thanks for watching.